you're enjoying your December. This is your December 2016 mid/general month reading. I am new to YouTube, so this is my first video for you guys. Hope that it is helpful, interesting in some way for you. So bear with me as I shuffle. Feeling a lot of mental energy focus for this month with these cards. Ooh. Okay, we're going to do the Celtic cross in a slightly different fashion. In the first position, we're going to have your far past. Then in the second, we're going to have your recent past. Then in the third, we're going to have your current situation, your current energies. Then we're going to have the energy or situation that is helping or hindering you, depending on how you take it and look at it. Following that, we're going to have your near future. Following that, we're going to have your hopes and your fears, followed by your final outcome. Then crowning at the top, we're going to have 3 cards. One is the energy that has been contributing to your current situation. Then we're going to have next to that the environmental energies. And after that, we're going to have the sort of most likely potential outcome given these energies that you're working with. So, one more shuffle. There we go. Distant past, recent past, current situation, what's helping or hindering you, near future, hopes and fears, final outcome. The energy that is contributing to your current situation. Environmental energies, most likely outcome. Beautiful. Okay. Then at the bottom of the deck, we have the World. This was also a prominent card in Scorpio's reading. And also a major arcana. So it seems like there is kind of this theme of some sort of transformation, moving forward to the next step, next phase. You have a lot of circular themes. Circular theme, circular theme, circular theme, circular theme. So, interesting. Now, if we're looking at the elements, right? If we're looking just at the elements, we're dealing with Pentacles. I believe Cancer got the exact card in the exact position for their December 2016 forecast. So That set aside, though, you have earth, you have water, you have fire, you have air. Literally, in this progression, in your deep past was an earth energy that led to a cups energy that now led you to a fire energy. Okay, so, and this is you also somewhat harnessing the air energy in your current situation. So those two kind of go together. So you're representing all of the elements, which is kind of cyclical too, in a sense, kind of like the world, right? So there is this sense of completion in a way. There is this sense of roundedness, wholeness, completeness in some shape or form. And then moving into the near future, there is very much, again, this very cyclical, returning to this earth energy. Pentacles. Okay. And a 10 at that. 10, the highest number. A symbol of completion, of finality. Okay, so in a way, a return to this deep past. Now, then moving forward with your hopes and your fears, you have the Six of Cups, okay, which is interesting because, you know, it's kind of, there's a mirroring effect. You have earth, then you have water, okay, earth, water. So, you know, and I'm looking at it thematically for now. So thematically, it seems like there is a mirroring effect in some way, some shape or form. Okay. Then you have the Major Arcana, the Hanged Man, for your final outcome. So definitely seems to be some sort of in the grander scheme of what's happening, you are moving forward on a greater collective path. Okay. So now with your current energies, right? And the energy that you're harnessing that's leading you to this place that you are in now. You have this earth energy yet again. Okay, but in a very complete way. Okay, which is almost like an anticipation of this near future. Okay, this wholeness. So it's almost like, you know, you have the ace and then you have the 10. 1, 10. It's almost like 10 is leading to 1 and 1 is leading to 10 in a way. They're kind of infinitely looped within one another. So it's almost as if you're embracing this new beginning with the Pentacles that is coming forward. And anticipating this end with this old chapter, perhaps. That's coming full circle. That's, I think, a very significant theme here that's popping out to me. So then in your environmental energies, you have Father of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles here. Wow, lots of Pentacles. Okay, lots of Pentacles. So there's a lot of concern with, not in a negative way or anything, but just a lot of focus on the material aspect of your life, the tangible aspect of your life, handling those kinds of assets, reorganizing, structuring that facet of your life and of your being. So you seem to be, and you seem to have been, very preoccupied with the material side of your world. Okay. This is definitely, you've been focused on this new beginning. You've had your eye, even kind of looks like an eye. You've had your eye on this future here, and you're very much anticipating it. You know that it's kind of coming forward, is the feeling that I'm picking up from that. Okay, so kind of in a triangle here, you have the pentacles, pentacles, and then you have next to it the pentacles. So this could be a person in your environment, Father of Pentacles, someone who is very stable, grounded, successful, the master of his craft type, maybe that you even look up to in some way, or you that could be contributing to this new beginning, sort of an inspirational figure, okay, in some way. So very much conducive, I would say, to this new beginning. Now you have a very mature energy here, Father of Pentacles, paired, you know, right next to the Ace of Pentacles, which is a very youthful energy, new energy, okay? Together, it's almost like there is a partnership of some sort happening in some way, okay? Or it could be that you are given the resources, okay, that are conducive to you moving forward with this new beginning of your tangible craft, okay, or career. Okay, so then following that, you have the most likely outcome of the Ace of Cups. Okay, and the cups we see again here, okay, is your hopes and your fears. And also here is your recent past. Okay, so with these two cups, right, your recent past, so again, it's very much a mirroring effect. Very much a mirroring effect. Okay, we're coming back to things, perfecting things, completing things. Things are coming full circle. Okay, we're moving forward in a very progressive way. Okay. With a newness, with an energy, with a revival, breath of fresh air, feels good, you know. Definitely, yes. The respiration of a new beginning, the start of a new beginning in so many ways, in a tangible way, in a emotional way, in a way that's fulfilling and satisfying to us on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, even spiritual, just the holistic new beginning of everything, okay, coming together and being one. Okay, so it's like all of these aspects are falling into place. It seems coming together, and you are being, in a way, reborn on different levels here. So let's look at it in a more fine-tuned fashion and sparse the details out. Starting with the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, you could have been working towards something rather diligently, focused. Okay, focused on your task at hand. Maybe a little monotonous. Okay, maybe a little bit just day in, day out type of work. Okay, not really reaping any emotionally satisfying rewards along with that. Okay, so focus definitely on financial matters. Okay, that was definitely a focus, and something that you were more deeply invested in. I mean, a 7 is not an ace, but it's also not a 10. So you were progressing towards something that I think is now going to be coming to a coming to completion in the near future here, that position. So moving on from that, in your recent past, you have the Father of Cups. So this is a very mature, controlled energy when it comes to emotions. Okay, so this is a stability of your emotions. This is a stability of an emotional cycle that you are reaching. Okay, and you have, it's interesting because you have cards of very high suit cards, father, mother, and then you have very new juvenile cards, youthful cards, cards of promise and faith and energy, vitality, curiosity, ace, okay? So definitely there is this kind of maturity, okay, that has come about you in terms of your emotional self. So, you know, perhaps recently you have been coming to terms maybe with your emotional self, becoming aware of your emotional self, and kind of bringing that, you know, maybe even focusing more on that rather than just so much focus on the financial aspect of your daily life. So interesting, there could have been sort of a shift and more concentration on emotions. And let's just take a look. Yeah, so perhaps loosening the rigidity of this situation. Okay. So, okay, that's in the past. Here we go. Moving into the present energy, you have the Mother of Wands. This is you right now. So, immediately when I see this, it's like Father of Cups, Mother of Wands, Father and Mother, water and fire. So, two different elements and two counterparts in a way, right? The feminine side and the masculine side. Not necessarily in terms of gender, but just in terms of the yin and the yang, the two sides that everyone kind of has to them, and their personality and their being. So this is kind of like the marriage of yourself, right? Whereas in the past we could have been so focused on financial gains and on our task at hand and our goals and accomplishing them, we're now coming, you know, more forward into this kind of more mind, body, soul fulfillment, an awareness, a mature awareness of these other aspects of ourselves and other aspects of our lives. So our emotional lives and our emotional self and our deeply creative but also nurturing creativity that's, you know, perhaps a bit softer and more intuitive even. So definitely there is some sort of wake up from this previous path that you were on, and you've been incorporating something more exciting. Okay, and this is, I see this as, you know, she has eggs that she's coiled around, and it's almost as if she's waiting to hatch these eggs. So, or for these eggs to hatch. So, in a way, your energy right now, okay, this very vibrant, nurturing, motherly, deep, passionate creativity and zest for life, okay, could be leading to this new beginning that you're stepping into that seems, you know, much more colorful. Okay, colorful, colorful, more color here. Okay, so now this is waking up to, I believe, your creativity. You're listening to your creative self. Okay. Now, in nurturing your creativity is what I feel with this. So, now, this is what could be helping or hindering you. Okay, depending on how you look at this energy, how you interpret this energy and move forward with it. The Son of Swords is a very sharp, determined, focused, maybe even somewhat brash, very intellectual energy. Okay, a youthful energy, so not entirely in command of perhaps his impulse with how he communicates. The Son of Swords is an air energy, intellectual energy, ruling the signs of Libra, Aquarius, and and what is the other one? Oh my gosh, Gemini. So so now what I notice with this card here, right, is this almost looks like a sword. Okay, and look, when they're kind of together, they're pointing at the same point. So, but this is a very youthful, okay, this is a very youthful energy, the Son of Swords. Okay, so this is a very mature energy, and when you have these two somewhat colliding, okay, then I think it might be heating you to perhaps think about your approach, okay, in this new creative beginning, okay, in this new step forward on your journey. So just make sure perhaps not to, yes, be focused, yes, you know, she's almost protective, possessive, so intensely focused to make sure that no one takes her eggs. Maybe just make sure that your approach isn't too sharp or even hasty, okay? So try to be wise with your words, try to be wise, nurturing, understanding with the way that you communicate with others as you move forward on this path. Then moving into the near future, you have again the Ten of Pentacles here, as we mentioned. Like I mentioned here, definitely a culmination of this past leading to a much more colorful, vibrant, new beginning in terms of your material world. Okay. Your hopes and your fears, Six of Cups. Okay, and back here in your past, we had the Father of Cups. Okay, so I see this as your hopes. Definitely, I see this as your hopes. Six of Cups, this really, there's a sense of you're setting in your roots. Okay, you're setting in your roots. Definitely. Okay, setting in your roots. This tree that was just black and with the sky that's just white is now growing these roots of color, okay, and vibrancy. This old situation of the Pentacles just in black and white, okay, is now transforming. into color, vibrancy, completion, the revival and the rebirth of something. So, and in a way that's the mirroring effect that I mentioned before. I feel like definitely there is this transformation, okay, this transformation of what you're contributing to, okay, and this transformation and this rebirth. Okay, setting in the roots, okay, waiting for something to grow, but something colorful, something different than what was and what has been. Okay, so you're hoping and you're optimistic towards that. It seems, and you're really working hard to gosh, with this very mature, intense, creative, nurturing, creative energy, okay, you are replanting, okay, and redefining your roots, okay. So definitely a transformation. Something is being transformed that you have been working on for a while. Then as your final outcome, you have the Hanged Man. Okay, so let's go to that at the very end. Actually, let's jump into the Ace of Pentacles, which is the situation that has been contributing and the energies that you've been harnessing that have led to your current situation of the Mother of Wands. So I feel, again, that it's very much this outlook of a new perspective towards your financial efforts and engagements and involvements. So it's this very fresh outlook towards this, this new beginning, this new financial career-oriented beginning. It's the anticipation, the excitement, starting anew. So really harnessing that energy, okay, has brought you to, and again, circle, the core with the eggs, very fertile energy, okay, the rebirthing, and the looking forward towards the rebirthing of this new beginning. Okay. We talked about this. The Father of Pentacles could be a person in your environment that is kind of helping you with this new beginning, that could be assisting you with this new beginning, could be helping you financially with that, or as a mentor with advice. Okay, but either way, it is conducive energy. Pentacles, 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 Pentacles. Okay, your environment is conducive, it seems, in a very mature way. Father of Pentacles, in a very mature, stable way. Okay, so it's guiding you down the light, okay, towards this new beginning here. And even this Father of Cups is looking at this Ace of Cups, so it's very much moving you in this direction, very much encouraging you to move in this direction. Okay, very much conducive. But this Ace of Cups is perhaps speaking to this Father of Cups. So we have two revivals, okay? The revival of our financial situation and the revival of our emotional situation. Okay, the rebirth of both. Okay. So, I feel like with this is inherent, okay? Because as we said, it's very much holistic. Very much holistic. Okay? You have almost every element represented here. Well, you do, actually. You have earth, water, fire, and air. But in terms of your progression, right, you're definitely progressing in different dimensions of yourself and of who you are, and you're taking different elements of yourself into consideration as you're moving forward on this new journey and new path. These two cards are right on top of each other, so they are very much aligned, okay, with this new beginning. And this is leading to this card here. So definitely I feel like whatever this new beginning is with your financial situation, there will be some sort of revival of your emotional world as well, a newness to your emotional world and state. Okay, more there is some sort of newfound optimism is what I'm feeling. Okay. New feelings, new emotions, a rediscovery of yourself. Okay. And then here we go, the Hanged Man, final outcome. So, as we see, there's definitely a progression, definitely a progress, okay, definitely a completion of certain things, of moving forward, okay. And with the Hanged Man, I get this sense that these new beginnings, right, as youthful and early stage as they are, okay, you will be kind of waiting for them to move forward. There will be an element of kind of setting your, this waiting to hatch kind of energy. Okay, waiting to hatch. But in a way, whereas this is very action-oriented, very creative, very in the moment doing, fire is about action, change, doing. Okay. Hanged Man is kind of stillness. Okay, but his eyes are open, he's awake, but it's almost like the insomniac. Okay, it's kind of like, it's nighttime, but he's awake. Okay, which is sort of like so excited about something, or you know, like knowing that he needs to sleep, but so excited about waking up the next day, so much in such great anticipation for what's to come, that he's kind of lying awake, you know, excited, or lying awake thinking even, but just waiting, right? Waiting and focusing on this path and this next step in the journey. Okay, there's just a lot of energy and focus. Definitely focus, so much movement, focus. Forward, moving forward. Lots of that energy. Planting, hatching, reborn. So definitely the cycles of life, right? They take time. we just have to wait for things to hatch. Yes, we have to start at the beginning, right? New stages. Yes, we have to start at the beginning, new stages, okay? Yeah, we have to grow our roots again, perhaps even, okay? But that's the natural stage. We know when it's night, we can't flip the switch on and make it, go to daytime. So what do? We bide our time, we accept it, and we just go with the flow and we hang. So this could be you perhaps anticipating those next steps in your journey, waiting for them, and it potentially could be you somewhat unsure or confused about the next steps, not really sure, but I feel it in a very excited, anticipating kind of fashion, where you are very eager for day to come and for you to move forward with this new beginning of some sorts. Okay. Definitely waiting, beginning, but even in a subconscious way, right? I feel like this is not really a conscious energy. I feel it is definitely subconscious. Just the inherent understanding that you've started something new and it's moving along its way. So you'll have to proceed with the natural cycles of things. Cycles. And moving forward on your journey, accepting it as it comes. So thank you, Leo. I hope that was insightful, and would love to know your thoughts, so feel free to comment and let me know how this reading resonated with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys next month. So have a great month and see you later. Bye.